Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the weekly Wednesday live in the Going Vegan for Health group with vegan coach Naomi. That's me. I am the owner of this amazing group of people all talking about going vegan for their health, having amazing health turnarounds, sharing their questions, their concerns, their experience, their strength, their hope, their recipes, their dinner pictures. It's really the greatest group ever, and so I'm here every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. for this live stream. If you're on, please tell me who you are and that you can hear me okay, and send me some hearts and some likes so that I know everything's working good. Hey Mandy, how are you? Good. Now I know everything's good. So I hope I can make it through today's live stream okay, because I kind of get mad and get ranty while I'm on this topic. So, and that's because I'm a vegan coach. I help people adopt a whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating so that they can get serious health benefits fast. So tonight we're going to be talking about the true costs of your current lifestyle if you're overweight, and especially if you're sick from being overweight. And when I say sick from being overweight, I mean that you're suffering from any number of things aside from being very overweight, such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high glucose, chronic pain, chronic depression, anxiety, digestive issues, headaches and migraines, all kinds of things like this. So here's why I get ranty about it. So very often we get so caught up in our daily lives that we just push down that kind of pain that we're feeling, whether it's emotional or physical, and we just accept the way our life has become. Don't we kind of just get used to it? I remember I was actually 30 pounds overweight like most of my adult life and didn't even think anything of it until I got breast cancer. So, you just sort of get used to the way it is, and you tell yourself, this is the way it is, this is what I have to spend, this is what I have to do, and this is the way it is, and you just begin to believe that you have no choice in the matter. Right? You just are like, well, I'm overweight, I'm fat, oh well. Or my doctor says I have to take this blood pressure medication forever, oh well. I've got diabetes now, there's nothing I can do about that. And you come to believe that you have no choice in the matter, and you just carry the costs emotionally, financially, and physically forward just every day if you don't change it. Hey Camilla, nice to see you here. So if you've been in this group with me and you've been learning about the gigantic medical evidence base for adopting a whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating to reverse these conditions and to lose weight and to reduce high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high glucose, and to get off those medications. Many of you are on many medications, not just one. Then if you've been learning about that, then you're starting to see the light, that it's really a choice, that you do have the power. So don't you want to stop paying? I mean, many of you in this group have already adopted the whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating, and you're already reversing these signs of disease really quick. You can do it on your own. You can do it with me in a group, and you're already doing it. But there's a gigantic percentage of this group who is watching and staying the way they are. They don't start, or they can't continue for some reason. So don't you want to stop paying the true costs financially, physically, and emotionally of staying the same? So let's go through what some of these costs are. So for example, according to the American Diabetes Association, people who are diagnosed with diabetes, and I'm reading this because I wrote it down, incur an average medical expenditure of $9,601 higher than the average person's healthcare costs. And this includes extra doctor visits, blood testing, prescriptions, glucose testing supplies, insulin injection supplies, support hose, and I don't even know what more. I don't even know what more. Now, I've said to some people, I once asked in the group, how much do you guys spend on medications for your illnesses? And I got back a really interesting response, which is oh, I don't spend anything. Insurance pays for it all. Or some sort of a thing like that, which is even crazier. So that's just diabetes though. So people were saying, well, because it doesn't come out of my pocket, then it doesn't really matter. And I didn't even write down the billions of dollars that high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes, high glucose costs the American public. Christine says, my live feed isn't loading, but I can see the comments. Why don't you get out of it and try again? So, and I hope you can come back, Christine. So where was I? So that's just diabetes. What about medications and supplies for high blood pressure, high cholesterol, chronic pain, depression, digestive issues, headaches? What about that CPAP machine? I mean, so many of my clients start out with CPAP machines. I don't even know what is that, and all the supplies that go with it. Camilla is saying the price is healthy and happy days. Yeah, we're going to get to that. We're totally getting to that, but I'm still up on the money part because this is costing a lot of money. And people will say, well, I can't afford this and I can't afford that, but I want to show you that this is a choice, okay? So, so what are you spending on all of that? And just because you might not be spending it out of your pocket, there's other costs, like Camilla said, that we're going to go through. So how about this? What do you spend on all your junk food? What do you spend on the amount of food that it takes for you to remain that big, that overweight, whatever level that is, whether it's 20 pounds, 50 pounds, 100 pounds, 200 pounds? How much money do you spend to support that? What about all your drink cups that you buy out, your bottled drinks? What about all your coffee drinks? What about all your breakfast, lunch, dinners out? What about all the fast food? Add it all up and find out, what are you really eating down and choosing to eat, okay? Are you so big that you have to pay for an extra seat when you're taking a bus or a plane somewhere? Or do you choose never to fly anywhere or go anywhere because you're so big and everything hurts and you'd have to pay for an extra seat? You see how limiting this can get? Are you stuck in a sedentary lifestyle because of your size or your ill health or your pain or your shame? Are you afraid that you can't walk, that you'll fall, that you'll have a heart attack? That's a cost that's not living. Like Camilla said, the cost is a happy, healthy, active life. And that's not living your life. It's sort of slowly dying, isn't it? So, what about your wife or your husband that you can't be intimate with because of erectile dysfunction or a CPAP machine, or because you're too big, or because you don't want to, or because you're afraid to have a heart attack? Mandy says, I tallied my coffee drinks if I bought 5 a week. Yikes. It was, whoa, what? $1,300? Is that monthly? No. A week? No, that's impossible. What was it, Mandy? So we were back talking about your wife or your husband who you can't be intimate with because of erectile dysfunction, which is, I heard on the radio today, a stupid ad for erectile dysfunction medication saying, hey, guys, I bet you didn't know that 52% of American men have erectile dysfunction. And I was like, yeah, that's because that's how many men have that as a first symptom of heart disease. And those same men are probably overweight and have high blood pressure and high cholesterol too, or are already diabetic. So how does that affect your spouse? Whether you're a man or a woman, how is your illness affecting your spouse or your children? Like Camilla said, having a happy, healthy lifestyle. That's what's, let's see what's going on here. Oh, Mandy said it costs $1,300 a year. That's still a lot of money. Holy crap. What do you think about that, Mandy? Can you do something better with that $1,300? Or how else could you reward yourself with that $1,300? Yeah. Let's see. Sheena says $1,200 for Starbucks a year for regular coffee. One for me and my hubby. Yeah, that's a big cost. That's a financial cost, especially for people who say they live paycheck to paycheck, or people who I get on the phone with who are so sick they spend a half an hour telling me how sick they are, and then they say, but I can't afford working with you. It's almost like you can't afford not to. That's where I'm at with this. I told you in the very beginning that I get ranty when I'm talking about the costs of these illnesses and of remaining overweight and not changing when you've been in this group and you've seen the success stories and you know about the medical evidence base for making this change to a whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. So, furthermore, are you alone and depressed because of your weight or your ill health? Sometimes it can be so isolating to be sick like that. I mean, I remember when I was going through cancer treatment, and I didn't want to tell anybody that I was sick, and plus I was bald, so that was terrible. I really remember how isolating it was to be sick like that. So these are all the costs that are associated with remaining sick and fat and remaining that way and not making the change, right? It's a choice. For these conditions, it's a choice. It's not a choice for some conditions, but for these specific conditions that I listed, it is a choice. And you can make a choice whenever you want. You can adopt the whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating, and you can watch your whole life open up and light up with possibility, with love, with fulfilling activities, with family and friendship and more. And that's what I want for you guys. Instead of like some kind of self-imposed prison where you think you have no choice and it's a prison of fear, shame, depression, anxiety, helplessness, hopelessness. And that's what obesity and a lifestyle of disease can be. That's what it's like living in that self-imposed prison. So anyone can adopt a whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating anytime. And if you're so big that you can't exercise, you can start with the diet and you don't have to exercise. The diet works to regulate your body systems on the inside out from the very first plant food bite that you take. In just 2 weeks, your blood pressure can start to come down, your cholesterol comes down, your glucose comes down. You'll be running to the phone to call your doctor to say that you need your meds adjusted because you have low blood pressure symptoms. So, anyone can do this for free by themselves by following the steps in my How to Go Vegan for Health pinned post right here in this group. It's also on my website. You can follow Forks Over Knives. You can buy a cookbook. You can start eating this way, right? You can get the cookbook and all you have to do is start cooking and eating, right? And if you've been watching me in this group and the success stories month after month that I say, okay, I'm starting a new group for the 10-week whole food, plant-based, no oil weight loss program, right? And you are watching me and you'll say, oh, well, I'm going to do it myself. I can do it myself. if you've been trying for months and months and have said that already 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 8 months ago, whenever you said that, but nothing's changed and you haven't done it, then you need to admit that to yourself, that you haven't done it and that you need help. And you need to message me tonight for a spot in February's group, because, you know, first of the year has come and gone. If you've already been trying it then and haven't done it, then you need help and you need to get out of this prison, because you could start feeling better so fast. And that's what I want for you guys. Georgia says, yes, I have. I think she says, she means, yes, I have started my whole food plant-based, no oil way of eating, because I think Georgia has started that. Pam says, my husband was convinced to go plant-based when he heard Dr. Esselstyn's talk about erectile dysfunction. Yeah, do I need to talk about that? Maybe I do, because I don't talk about that very much. So the arteries in the penis are very, very small. And so when there is heart disease and clogging of the arteries happening in the body, it will happen in those penile arteries first, not the big heart arteries or the big other arteries. It'll happen in those tiny little arteries first. And that's why erectile dysfunction is a first tip-off to heart disease in men. So if you have erectile dysfunction and you don't think you have heart disease, then you're kidding yourself. That's a fact. There, I said it. Georgia Banks, yes, thanks to you. Georgia got on the phone with me. I helped point her in the right direction. She's doing it herself. That's all you have to do. You can call me up. We could talk for a half an hour, and I can point you in the right direction. If you can do it yourself, that's great. If you can't, then get up off your ass and get in a group with me, and let's get this going. Florence says, everything revolves around my dog who has cancer right now. I'm sorry, Florence, about your dog, but you can do both. You can have a whole food, plant-based, no oil diet and honor your own life while you're honoring the life of your dog. So it's a misconception to everybody who makes all kinds of excuses as to why they can't do things now. You can do both. You can have a whole food, plant-based, no oil diet while on vacation, while dealing with a sick parent, while helping a distraught child, while being sick yourself. No matter what, it's a lifestyle, it's a way of eating, it's a way of being, and it doesn't change because something else happened, okay? I hear this a lot. I hear this all the time. And it's just a misconception that I really have to just draw the line at. It's just no excuses. So where was I? I told you I got ranty on this topic. This always happens when I get on this kind of a topic. All right, I think you've probably had enough. You can also look out for a repeat of the Beat Emotional Eating Challenge, which has been going amazing, right, Mandy? Right, Judy? Members in this group are working together to unravel their emotional eating. So that means people who reach for food when they feel any type of way. It could be happy, could be sad. They're reaching for food and it's stopping them on their progress of their whole food, plant-based, no oil diet. It's creating little binges and stopping the progress. So we're working together to unravel it, to shine the light on it, and they're already making changes. We're on day 7, and they're already have had epiphanies about themselves, their patterns, how the junk food affects them. Judy says, yes, it's like peeling the layers of an onion. We're definitely peeling the layers. And they're already making all kinds of changes. Mandy says, if any of you have emotional eating issues, take the course. It's not expensive and it's a huge help. It is not expensive, right? And it's also a little bit each day so that you can build on it. Okay, so I know some of you did not get in it on time because, you know, I announced it. And then we had enrollment for a few days and then it closed and that's it. So, but I will bring it back for another time, maybe in February. if you're interested in that, you can message me or you can ask me in the comments, and I'll make sure I keep you on a list about that. And again, if you need help adopting a whole food, plant-based, no oil way of eating so that you can be successful and finally lose weight, reduce your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your glucose, your headaches, your digestive issues, if you need help with that and you need to admit it to yourself, then please message me and let's hop on the phone and let's talk about it, and let me see if I can help you for free, and let me see if this group program will help you. Either way, because what I want for you is that life of possibility, okay? And I don't want you to just be okay with sitting around at home, not doing anything, spending all your money on junk food and pills. That's not what I'm doing this for. It's not what I want to see. So that's the end of my rant for today. And anybody who hates my rant, which really is all about love for all of you to live your best lives, sorry, not sorry. Okay, so happy Wednesday, everybody. I hope this fires you up a little bit to keep your money in your pocket and eat plants. Okay? All right, good night.